This family has almost nothing, but they are one of the happiest in the entire novella, and that's exactly why Dickens uses them. Let's break it down. Beaming looks. This shows warmth and joy and strong family bonds. God blesses everyone. This reflects faith and hope and optimism, and what's powerful is that despite their poverty, they are happy. I give you, Mr. Scrooge. They are grateful, even towards somebody who treats them badly. Bob held his withered little hand. This shows deep parental love and care for Tiny Tim. Dickens is showing that happiness doesn't come from wealth, it comes from love, it comes from kindness, and it comes from family and unity.
Learn with Miss BB and smash the AOs.
All the Cratchit family drew around the hearth. Bob served it out with beaming looks, while the chestnuts on the fire sputtered and cracked noisily. Then Bob proposed, "A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us," which all the family re-echoed. "God blesses everyone," said Tiny Tim, the last of all. Starting with this extract, how does Dickens present the Cratchit family as positive? In this extract, in the rest of the novella. Before we look at the writing, this is the foundation. Strong answers always start with clear, relevant ideas. So here we've got from the extract joy, warmth, family unity, and from the rest of the novella, kindness, forgiveness, and care. So immediately this sets up a clear line of argument that the Cratchits represent positivity despite facing poverty. So that's already a strong AO1 thinking before we even start writing. Right, what I would like you to do now is I would like you to take a screenshot of this infographic. This is exactly what you should be revising from. If you learn this properly, it will save you time in the exam. You're not going to be panicking trying to think of ideas. You already know what the theme is, what quotations to use, and what each quotation shows. So this question is all about the theme of positivity despite poverty. So the key quotations you need to remember are from the extract: beaming looks, joy and warmth. God blesses everyone, which shows kindness, faith and optimism. From the rest of the novella, you can use quotations such as founder of the feast, which shows forgiveness and gratitude, withered little hand, care, compassion, family love. If you know these quotations, you are covered for the theme. In the exam, keep it simple. 2 ideas from the extra that you have been given and 2 ideas from the rest of the novella. This will give you 4 strong paragraphs. If you revise like this, theme, quotes, clear structure, you are putting yourself in a really strong position for top marks. The examiner is looking for 3 things: clear ideas and references. So that's your AO1. Detailed analysis of methods, AO2. Context and message, that's your AO3. Top band answers don't separate these, they integrate them smoothly. Let's see how this response does that. Alright, let's go through this model response together. As we move through, I want you to think like an examiner. I'm going to show you exactly where this answer is hitting AO1, AO2 and AO3 and why it would achieve a high mark. So this is your introduction. This is the student's introduction, sorry. This is a strong introduction. It clearly answers the question straight away. The Cratchit family are presented as positive, warm and morally good. That's AO1, clear argument. It also brings in Dickens' purpose and it challenges a Victorian attitudes towards the poor. That's AO3 already embedded. As an examiner, I can already see the student understands the bigger message, which is key for higher marks. the examiner has looked at the introduction and they know that this student has understood the question already. Paragraph 1, extract. So they are focusing on the extract and they have taken the quotation beaming looks. Now, here's where it starts to develop. The student uses a precise quotation, beaming looks, that's AO1. They zoom in on the word beaming and they analyze it, which links it to happiness and warmth, that is AO2. But what pushes this higher is the interpretation that joy exists despite poverty. Then they link it to Victorian attitudes and they challenge the idea that the poor are miserable. So that's AO3. So in one paragraph, this student has included all three AO that are being met. Slide paragraph 2, apologize. They have made links to the extract again and they have used the quotation, God blesses everyone. This is a really strong paragraph. Again, clear evidence from the text, AO1. The student zooms in on every and analyzes the inclusive language, that is AO2. And that's exactly what examiners want. Not just spotting, but zooming in, looking at the deeper meanings beyond the obvious. Then they link it to Christian values and Victorian society, that is your AO3. And what I like here is that the student explains the effect. Kindness extending beyond the family, that shows deeper understanding. The examiner, that's what they are looking for. They are not looking for boring, repetitive paragraphs. They are looking for substance. They're looking for your analytical and your critical thinking skills. They're looking at the connotations, the authorial attention. They're looking at the hidden meanings. So make inferences. Be critical. Paragraph 4. Have I just skipped a paragraph? I'm sorry, I think I have. So paragraph 3, founder of the feast. This is where the answer becomes more perceptive. The quotation shows Bob's attitude towards Scrooge. The student zooms in on the word founder and analyzes this, showing respect and gratitude. So they have hit AO2. But what really stands out is the interpretation that Bob remains kind despite being mistreated. And that's a sophisticated idea and the examiners will love this. Then they contrast this with Scrooge, which strengthens the argument, AO1. And again they link it to Dicken's message about morality and character, AO3. This is pushing them into top band because it is thoughtful and well developed. Paragraph 4, that they have made links to elsewhere in the novella. Withered a little hand. So this is another strong paragraph. The student selects a powerful quotation, AO1. They zoom in on withered and held and they analyze both fragility and care. So that's AO2. They've zoomed into those words. They've talked about what's effective here in the contrast between weakness and strength, physical weakness, emotional strength. Then they link it to Victorian society and they show sympathy, responsibility and criticism of how the poor are treated. So that's AO3. As an examiner, I can see clear, developed analysis throughout. The conclusion. So this is a strong conclusion. It returns to the main argument that the Cratchits are morally rich despite being materially poor. AO1. It reinforces Dickens' message about compassion and social responsibility, AO3. And it just doesn't repeat. It summarizes the argument clearly, which is exactly what we want. The final mark scheme or the success criteria. So overall, why is this high level response? They've included the AO1, clear conceptual argument throughout, AO2, consistent zooming in on keywords and methods, AO3, embedded context and Dickens' message. But the most important thing, they are blended together in every paragraph, and that's what moves an answer into the top band.